Here she is. He looks it. So understood.
There you go. Okay.
One of your followers.
What is that chirping?
It's a little baby bird that I found in a barn yesterday.
Where is he?
He's in that blue tub or side basket.
There you go. Just sent her a message for you. Understood with one of your followers in Tennessee.
That's so cool.
Do they learn their names?
Yes, so all of the sloths know their names.
Okay.
We could be standing in the same room with Flash in his little, or Dash in his little basket there, and we could be having a conversation, and as soon as we start talking about him and saying his name, he'll start uncovering himself and start peeking out over the sides of the basket to try to see if we're going to come over there and pick him up. Because this is his happy place. He loves to be in somebody's hands.
Yeah.
Hold that right there if you want to. You may eat some. If not, we can break out the spinach too. All the good stuff around here.
How old is Dash again?
Dash is 8.5 months.
8.5 months. How old's Flash and Zoe?
Flash is 6 years old and Zoe is 16 months.
Gotcha.
So Zoe turned a year old in December.
I'm having a cuddle with Zoe again later.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, she had the munchies earlier. Oh my goodness. She
Did
did
she?
not stop eating. Yes.
She is very cute.
Yeah. She's a sweet girl. She's taking a nap right now.
She had a little bit. She's not really. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, she is. There she is.
So, as he gets older, will he lighten up in color a lot?
Yeah, so they don't really shed a whole lot, but as he grows in his adult hair and he gets longer, it will lighten out quite a bit than what it is right now. So they're all born pretty dark, chocolatey brown like that. And then as they mature, it starts to get lighter.
That's a big mouthful.
Is the diet as a baby sloth different to that of an adult?
Yes, so when they get about 2 years old, we switch over from the rice mixture that has the rice, the shaved up sweet potatoes, and that really high quality dog food that we soak and put in there. We switch them over to 2 hard-boiled eggs a week, and that will be their form of protein rather than the soaked dog food. And so right now he's still on that, the baby mixture. And Zoe, she is slowly transferring over into not getting so much of that mixture and slowly getting more stick vegetables and things like that. So we'll start
Dash
adding in the eggs.
Flash will just eat it.
Yeah. He is quite picky about if you've got green beans out though, that is what he wants.
Yeah,
He
we
will
fed him
eat-
those the other day and he was in his happy place.
Yes, yeah. He will eat all the green beans till there are no more. And we can open this up too and see if he wants to come out and see us. And I always preface it on the live to say that this isn't part of Dash's encounter, but if Flash wants to come out, he's outside right now.
He was sat on the top of the door the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Flash wants to come out, then he's more than welcome to.
Yeah.
It's warm enough outside today that he's got his outdoor enclosure open as well. And sometimes he just likes to go back and forth and back and forth, so.
Can I nip through and just see him?
Hmm?
Can I nip through and
Yes,
just
that's
see him?
fine. But Dash's claws are a lot sharper than our other two.
Camouflage.
Yeah.
Oh, he's up there.
Yeah.
There
Oh,
he
yeah,
is.
he's the very, very top. I haven't seen him up there in a while.
Can he and Zoe see each other through glass?
No, Zoe's enclosure is just down here. It's just
Oh,
one story.
okay.
Yeah. Up there through the glass, that's the camera window. So if you
Oh.
can stay up
So
there.
you usually wake up with
Yeah.
flashing. That's cool.
Yep, pretty much. So it's pretty cool to stay up there, but you gotta have like 6 to 10 people to really make it worth it.
Yeah.
But if you've got that many people, it's actually pretty affordable to stay up there,
Yeah.
so.
I wouldn't say anything here is expensive.
Yeah.
I think you get.
Yeah.
probably get more than what you pay for.
Yeah,
If I'm honest.
especially with how expensive it is to like bottle feed baby kangaroos and everything here on the farm that we bottle feed. I mean, it really starts to add up on the cost of formula and everything, so, yeah.
You got a little piece of price on your lip.
That's alright, it's all down your leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not the cleanest eater.
Doesn't matter.
I'm trying to turn the bowl so we can get like more.
You'll move to it, I guess, if you need to.
I'll probably teach them to be lazy.
You don't really have to teach a sloth that.
Yeah, it comes naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zoe clung to me so tight the other day.
Yes.
It hurt,
Yeah.
but I just forgot about the pain.
Yeah.
I was in my happy place, just holding her, and she,
She had like
Yeah,
indentions on her shoulder.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
for a good
But-
few hours afterwards, they were there.
Well, don't forget that you can just tap
Yeah,
her,
yeah,
her
I know,
paw
but I
and
didn't
she
want to,
will-
because
yeah.
like I was just.
She didn't want to move. She was like, I
Yeah.
love it. It hurts. I just love it.
Yeah.
Sloths are my
forgets.
favourite animals.
Yeah.
So
She forgets sometimes.
if it makes her
because-
happy, then I'm happy. I don't care about the pain.
Yeah. And that's what most of the time we have people sit in that blue chair because they can slouch back just a little bit more. And especially with Zoe, if she's slouched back more so on her belly, she doesn't feel like she has to cling on as tight.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're leaning more forward, she feels like she has to cling on a little bit tighter. So it hurts a little bit less if you're in the blue chair.
But we sat in there with her the other day,
Yeah.
and then we had, what's the armadillo's name?
Baku.
Baku, that's it.
Bakugan, yeah.
Yeah, he was running around, and
Yeah, I think he's taking a nap
I
right
was,
now.
So she took him out, and then she said, and then we were asking about the stuff on the floor. She was like, oh, that's for the armadillo. And we were like, oh, where's the apple? We want to see him.
Yes, yeah.
but he, I was squatting down against the wall
Uh-huh.
the other day, and he ran underneath my
Yeah.
shoe and started going like this with his
Yes.
butt on
Yeah.
my shoe, and I was like, that's
Yeah.
too cute.
There you go, baby.
He has a big personality for
Yeah.
such a tiny little animal. He is so funny. He'll flip over like if somebody's standing with their feet kind of close together. He'll wedge himself in between their feet, flip onto his side, and claw like he's, frantically trying to get up. And people are like, "Oh no, I'm trapping him!" And then he still just lays there, and they're like, "Is he okay?" And then he's just like, "Oh nope, just kidding."
I held him out there actually,
Yeah.
up here,
Uh-huh.
and he started licking all up my arm, and then he fell asleep.
Yeah.
This was like this on my arm, and I was like, this is the cutest thing. I never thought in my life I'd be holding an armadillo.
The cutest, the weirdest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The armadillo falling asleep on your arm.
Yeah.
But yeah, she wants to see a 9-banded one really bad.
Yeah.
It's like,
I only
the
seen
only
him
time
on
we
the side
see
of the
him is
highway.
on the side of the road.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh. But,
We don't get any of this in
Yeah.
the UK.
Really?
In fact, the only thing we have in the UK, and that's because they're from Scotland,
it's the
is the cows.
Highland cows, yeah.
I think there's one girl that I follow too on TikTok that she's got a lot of ferrets, like she breeds ferrets and she's in the UK. And she's got like a mink too that she plays with and everything. They're so cute.
Yeah.
You need to follow me on TikTok.
What is the?
So what?
The fox,
The
the
fox,
fox
yeah.
mama.
You haven't posted in a while, by
I
the
haven't
way. I
posted.
was gonna say something too.
I know. Rude. Oh, right. Mama is spelled UK way. M-U.
Oh.
M-M-A.
You're still cute.
That's me.
Ash.
This one?
Yep.
Cool.
That's Alex.
Aww.
He lives at mine.
I've noticed on the sloths that they have this little spot here that's
Yeah.
red.
They've all got little weird cowlicks like that towards their butts, yeah. And he's a lot more tolerant of me trying to, because it drives me crazy, the cowlicks. And so I'll try to like comb his down and get it to lay down. But Zoe can't stand it when anybody does that, so
Really?
we don't mess with our cowlicks. But yeah.
So that's Debs. Is that who you follow? Should be Debs, Crazy Fox Lady.
She's got red hair, I know that.
It's not Debs.
Oh no.
It's the big yawn.
She's really good. That's her.
No, it's not her that I'm talking about.
She's
but-
got cubs and all sorts.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
She does loads of stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
She's worth a follow actually.
Cool.
She goes live from the sanctuary that we help out at.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's not the same one?
Mm-mm. I'm trying to think of her name. She does like, she's some kind
Is
of
it Daisy
author.
Gray?
Daisy Gray.
Daisy Gray we know as
She's
well.
a friend of mine. In fact, she was running my live when I left my phone in one of the Fox enclosures
Mhm.
to go to the toilet,
Mhm.
and Simon picked my phone up and buried it. So, and then clicked on go live with Daisy Gray. So she was talking on my live whilst Simon had a real character to it. He was a cute boy.
Like, I know you're not like the big ones for sure, you can't touch their face. If he has something on his face, can you get it off?
Sometimes he'll tolerate it,
Oh.
but I always just try to like slowly let him know what I'm doing, so like I'll put it a little bit closer up towards his nose before I poke it, because out of nowhere he just gets a poke on the nose. He's, you know, a little bit reactive to that,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Sensitive for them, isn't it?
Yeah. And especially since their eyesight is so bad, I mean, they have basically no peripheral vision.
Mhm.
So it's essentially like if you were to cup your two hands together and look through it like a telescope, so that's about all they see. They don't have peripheral vision. So I always just try to go real slow with him. Did they show you his ears the other day? I think his ears are the cutest thing ever. And he actually lets us see them.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's good about letting us see them, but Zoe, she gets a little bit fussy if we mess with her ears.
little
Yeah. And so with Dash, we're trying a lot harder to acclimate him to being okay with all sorts of touches, because some people get so excited when they're holding the sloth that they forget, you know, they're real intense listening to us,
Yeah.
and they'll forget how they're petting them, and they'll start doing the cat scritches or going
Oh,
like, I don't know what it is with some
They don't
people
like
that they
that.
like to rub the opposite way of the hair, and it's like, that
Yeah.
just drives me crazy, but some people do it.
Yeah.
But with Zoe, she's a lot more sensitive to stuff like that.
Mhm.
So with Dash, I try to, you know, he doesn't love it, but he will tolerate, you know, a little bit of the backwards hair moving, and just to make sure that he sleeps like that too. He
used
sleeps
to
with
sleep
a little
like that,
blip.
baby.
Yeah. It's like he forgets how long his tongue actually is.
You're cutie.
It's doing a little bit better now. It has been doing well, but this morning after I fed it like the whole way, my drive here, it's about an hour drive for me, and usually he peeps every time like I hit a curve or a bump or something, but he was making any noises, and I was like, oh man, did I not chop up the worm enough or what? But he's doing better now, so I'm actually gonna grab a little mealworm real quick. I'll be right back to feed him with.
Okay. Boys, go get your phone.
Still Dash.
It's kind of cool that we work somewhere that has all of these abundance and worms and bugs and everything.
Oh,
It
yeah.
makes it really easy to feed this guy.
Smile. I should have gone live on my TikTok as well. Did we do that? Are we allowed to do that?
I think so. I haven't ever heard anybody say you can't, so should be fine. You wanna do that?
Well, if that's what you wanna do, you can.
Won't be a very long video, but
How long you got until?
I think the encounter's 20 minutes, but I don't have anybody afterwards, so we. Yeah. Yeah, it's been about 10 minutes, but, oh well. What time did we start?
Do you need
Time is basically up, but,
Oh.
yeah, we started just a little bit late, so we'll end a little bit late, and plus I don't have anybody after you guys, so you're fine.
He's not like holding on too tight either. Do you know what kind of bird it is?
Just a little barn swallow.
Oh,
They eat a lot of like mosquitoes and stuff, so. Up at the horse farm, we've got so many of them up there that everybody that knows that I have them is like, why even try with that thing? We've already got hundreds of them. I'm like, yeah, but it's a baby. I don't think Flash is interested in coming down.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
It's gonna drive me crazy that I don't know what her name is.
I'll follow you back when we get a signal. Oh, I'm live.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
So the baby's the same, that they just use the toilet like
Yep.
every 7 days or so?
Yep, every 7 to 10 days, yeah.
Okay.
Especially him, he is on a very, very strict schedule.
Mm.
About every 7 days for him, he is using the bathroom. Oh, it's Lucy. Yeah. Really?
I haven't seen hers either. Can you imagine how many people there are though that have gone famous or become, creators
Yeah.
from foxes?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like over here, obviously you're not supposed to be interacting with,
Yeah.
wild foxes and stuff like that, which they do act different. Their mentality's a little different over here.
Really?
Because they're more wild. Over in the UK, they're considered urban, so they're not considered wild. So we're
Yeah.
allowed to feed them.
We don't have as much space in the UK as you guys do here because we're
And they've developed on most of the islands, so it
Yeah.
leaves very little wildlife space.
Yeah.
The only wildlife they really have is that, the badgers, some deer, mice, rats, birds. Not much. So I think they like for people to help maintain the wildlife they do have,
Yeah.
if they're hungry, feed them,
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty rare that I ever see any of the red foxes around here, so.
Yeah, they stay,
Mhm.
yeah.
that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
I wonder what they're thinking.
Yeah. That's what a lot of people ask too, like I wonder what their thought process is. But there is no doubt that they enjoy the holding process because they have been, conditioned to do this since they were very, very young.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much they talked about the breeder that we got them from, but he, from just a few days old, was already holding the babies just a little bit at a time. All the mother would eat a little snack cap. So they clicker trained the mothers to know that when she hears a little clicker noise that she gets a little treat and that the breeder's gonna borrow baby for just a few seconds. And as the baby gets just a little bit older, every day the time will increase just a little bit more, so that it never stresses out mother or baby. And when baby is completely weaned of the mother's own choosing, then they're used to being held for upwards of 30 minutes to an hour a day. And before they leave the facility, they go through a final ambassador test, which means that given the opportunity between doing something they enjoy, like laying in a basket or sitting in a certain hammock, that they would rather interact with people and be holding on to people.
Yeah. I love that he's so relaxed. He's
Yeah.
just dropped that
Mhm.
hard.
Yeah, we call him our belly baby because he stays down real low and likes to wrap around our torso. While Zoe, she likes to wrap all the way up around her necks and likes to snuggle it up.
Yeah,
beside
she
your
was
head.
snuggling in with us
Yeah.
the other day, really good.
Okay, sorry, a little squeeze.
Mhm.
She squeezed me, but
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll just went.
Oh.
You still hungry too?
Oh, he heard the bird.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, bird.
You're gorgeous. Are you gonna reach for my phone then?
Yeah, it looks tasty.
Oh no. Zoe ate my watch the other day. Which I should have put my sloth strap on. Look up.
Were you coming back for Zoe?
Zoe's the last thing on the agenda for today.
Yeah.
Next we have at 2, we have kangaroo
Kangaroos.
hand.
Oh,
That's right.
yeah.
So we've already done baby kangaroo feed this
Yes.
morning. Then we did Finn,
Yeah.
and now we've got Dash.
How was that? How did they do that with Finn? Because this is the encounters with them are completely different.
No, that's what she was saying.
So
She brought
she
him
was
down to
actually-
the cabin right there.
Okay.
Yeah,
And we
and we
sat
just
there.
sat down on the
Okay,
floor.
cool.
Scratched me a little bit, but
No.
a fox
Well,
scratch is a fox scratch. I bet
yeah.
her.
Only from him like trying to run
Yeah.
away, like
Yeah.
not, yeah.
So
But
he was pretty
he was pretty-
skittish to begin with,
Mhm.
but actually he really settled down.
Yeah.
And he did let us hold him for a very short time up here, but he was really content
Yeah.
on your lap.
I can get him a lot of times. Like if I'll be sitting down, I'll have him laid in between my legs
Yeah,
like
that's how I
that,
had him.
and he'll be having his head like over my knees, just looking around, and I'm just like,
I held his head,
yeah.
so he was laid like that,
Mhm.
but he put his head in my hand.
Oh.
But he really liked his chin rubs.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was really good.
He's funny to watch run around the house, and him and the little
Gwen, is it? Is it Gwen?
yeah, Gwen is
Yeah.
Gwen and Finn, yeah.
they said she's not very nice.
Yeah, well, she's just scared. So they came from totally different situations, and I don't think that she was handled nearly as much as Finn was when he was a baby. And so she just is more fearful than everything. And we try to take him on walks where we'll bring him outside. And Finn will be a little bit more curious and looking around and running around and playing a little bit. But Gwen, bless her heart, she just scrambles everywhere. She's
She
like,
just
oh
wants
my
to walk.
gosh. Yeah.
Bless her.
Yeah. But I think that having more encounters with them will really help them tame down as well. Having so many different people to interact with.
And actually, I don't know the name of the young lady that took us, but she loves Finn.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can tell she loves him,
Mm-hmm.
and she's so knowledgeable about him as well. Like, the questions, knowing foxes, the questions that we were asking, I think people that don't know so much about foxes wouldn't ordinarily ask.
Yeah.
But she was great, wasn't she?
Yeah. Was it Donna? Did she have brown hair?
Really young girl.
Oh,
Young girl with
She's
long
got
brown hair.
brown hair. Yeah.
long brown hair.
She called that barn up there her barn. She's like a young girl.
She's still at school.
I've
She's
only been
really
here like
tan.
3 weeks. Oh, yeah. So she's going to be a game warden.
Yes.
That one.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Graceland.
Grace.
Grace Lavender.
Yeah, she's really, really knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And actually, she was really interested in learning a lot of the stuff that we knew about the red foxes in the UK as well.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she was great.
Yeah.
But you can tell she genuinely loves him.
Mm-hmm.
What's he saying? He's content. His little arm flopping.
He's like basically grabbing onto my bra because I can't really feel what he's
Yeah,
doing.
that's what he does to me too, like right here in my armpits,
Oh,
he'll
yeah.
grab onto my
Somebody the
bra.
other day,
Yeah.
she did a whole, I'm really comfortable,
Yes.
I'm gonna lean back, but Paul grabbed onto my stalk.
Oh no.
And then started, so she was nibbling my.
Yeah.
What?
What was nibbling and suckling on my,
That was the hedgehog.
hedgehog?
Oh.
Mhm.
Yeah. We
Oh,
always
we
have-
get hedgehogs in the UK, we get a lot of
Yeah.
hedgehogs.
Yeah, she loves to show people her belly, and it's like a mean trick that she plays because she shows them her
makes you
belly.
wanna-
Yeah, everybody
you
just
can't-
wants to like blow raspberries on her belly or something. And then
Yeah.
as soon as you think about it, she's like, no, just
Absolutely
kidding. You do
do
not.
It's just their soft spot, isn't it, for any animal really?
Almost
their
did it.
belly.
Almost did it. I was
Yeah.
like,
And he tolerates it a little bit more, and we try, especially with him, you know, while he's eating and is distracted, we'll touch him in different ways, and ways that, to me, makes me cringe, like brushing up the wrong way of his hair, but some people do that, and
Just
we
to
want
have
him
it used
Why
to
would
it.
you do that?
Yeah.
we want him to be used to anything, because, you know, Zoe, she gets pretty reactive sometimes to
Yeah.
the different touches that
Really?
people will do, so going up the wrong way, she's like, what in the world are you doing? And she'll start like clawing at people, trying to get their wet.
Oh,
And not everybody picks up on subtle cues like that from
Mhm.
animals' behaviors. And they're like, oh, she's trying to hold my hand. I'm like, no, she's trying to tell you to stop it.
yeah. The other day, he had Georgie around his neck, and this lady kept getting close and was like, what?
So Georgie was
Like
fine with
Georgie.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah, he let me pet him and everything. But then this lady started sneaking up while John was talking,
Uh-huh.
and Georgie didn't like that.
Yeah.
And so he started doing the
Yeah.
and like go back and forth. And the lady was like, oh, it's so cute. And John goes, he's gonna bite you.
Yeah. People have to respect the behavior of animals.
Yeah.
They try to show you, and that's what dogs is my big thing. I've been, you know, I'm wanting to go to vet school, and so dogs is what I'm most used to working with. And their behavior, like I can pick up on it a lot more than people that have never owned a dog before.
Right.
And some people just don't understand, like,
Yeah.
you know, they're looking at me with these real wide eyes, like you can see the whites
They're
of
not
their
happy.
eyes, and it's like, oh, they're trying to play. And I'm like, no, he's about to bite you. Like he's trying to get space.
That's,
like,
that's the first
Yeah.
warning before the teeth show.
yeah. And that, you know, to other dogs, that's a clear sign to them, hey, stop, you're about to get bit.
Yeah.
But people don't realize that because we weren't raised by dogs, so we don't always pick up on cues like that, but to them, it's obvious.
Like, what do they do when you, like, I know you can tap their arm to, like, tell them to loosen up and stuff, but, like, if you were to, like, try to shake it, a sloth's head, like, how would they react to that? Would they just be like,
Yeah, well, with him, he's a little bit more,
Tolerant.
tolerant of something like that, but Zoe and Flash, they both don't like
They
their
feel
paw
like,
pads
yeah.
to be touched
okay.
with. Yeah, and their paw
They have
pads,
paw
you know,
pads?
It's soft.
yeah, it looks like leather, and so he tolerates it a little bit if you want to try to look at it. But with the other two, they don't really, like, they'll reach out for you, trying to see if you have any vegetables, but they're not
I
trying to
see.
hold your hand, they're just looking for food.
it's really soft?
And it feels just like a leather couch.
Mm. He's really soft.
Yeah, we've got 3 dogs at home,
Mhm.
all elderly. Dylan's our boy,
Yeah.
and he's got arthritis, so he's back exercise to go, but he's also got Bell's palsy
Oh.
and
Mm.
dementia,
Oh, no.
which is really difficult
Yeah,
to deal with. You know, you've got to be so tolerant, and sometimes I'm not.
yeah.
Um,
Does he
and
do like the sundowning in the evenings where he really gets active?
Does
And
he ever?
barking and.
constant barking at nothing?
Mhm.
And when he goes out in the garden, he just stares and stares.
Mm.
They can look,
Yeah.
but when he's with you, he is on
Yeah.
point. Like you can tell he's gone back to border collie,
Yeah.
must be alert,
Mhm.
and all the good stuff. So
Yeah.
you know, he's 13 now,
Oh, yeah.
so you know he's old, but
Yeah.
he's having his hydrotherapy every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're just keeping him comfortable, and you know, any pet owner has to expect that when they're not comfortable, you've got to make a decision.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But we're not there just yet. They're with him,
Yeah.
but the vets are keeping a good eye on him. So
I think that a lot of people, what they go by is like, if you can name 5 things that they enjoy doing, and once they can't do 3 of those things, or they have no interest in doing 3 of those things anymore, then it's like, okay, you gotta kind of start to consider.
Yeah, so I've got 3 things. If his personality changes, which it kind of is with the dementia, if I'm honest. If he doesn't eat and he doesn't go to the toilet on his own.
Yeah.
I say it like that, but I don't mean it like that,
Yeah.
but yeah, he's,
No, I understand.
You gotta keep going for your next thing.
Okay, what's the, didn't think I had anything right after this.
Well, you don't, but I assume you wanna eat lunch, and this is
I do.
40 minutes into a 20-minute account.
I did.
I don't care.
it's our fault.
Say,
It's
it's
our
all,
fault. We were
we
doing
all
a
get
lot
to be
of
chatty
chatting, I'm
Cathy's
sorry.
out here, and it doesn't bother me as long as we get to our next events.
There we go. Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're gonna go and get some lunch as well.
No.
We're
Yeah.
gonna try and sit by the river and see some otters, I think.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Bad time of day to see otters. They usually come up. Are you guys staying on site?
We were gonna go and grab a sandwich or
No, I
something.
mean,
I don't know,
are
we're
you
not
staying here?
staying
Right?
here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
If you stand here, they come up at dusk and again at dawn, and they eat nuts under the tree by the cabin down there.
That's
But the middle of the day, you're not gonna see them.
We did try to book it, but when
It was fully
for
booked.
last night and tonight, it said it was all booked up.
Tink you so much.
You're welcome.
Good luck with the
Yeah,
big birds.